ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eureka Farms here in Farming Simulator 19 with me, CWATTYESO. It is the start of a new morning, and we've got quite a bit to do. Completed the harvesting contract that I was doing in the last episode over on Field 6, the sunflowers, and that field is now obviously ready to be reworked. I have bought that field actually following the completion of the contract. I have bought the field and I'm going to turn it into a grass field. We're going to do some more. We're going to have another grass field for mowing, for getting out materials needed to feed animals. Also today, I've installed a new mod, and I'm hoping it's going to be in here somewhere. Under sell points, sugar sell point, sugar pellets, and sugar beet company marketplace. So yes, I've got the sugar beet add-on mod installed. So we can refine sugar beets into crystallised sugar, with bulk peat and molasses being produced as organic byproducts. We've got the pellet press. Bulk peat is pressed together with molasses into animal feed pellets. So yeah, we've got a couple of new buildings. It's a whole mod that basically makes sugar beets, gives you a bit more to do with sugar beets basically. So I'm going to be giving that a bit of a try out, because it's probably one of them mods that you're going to want to add more or less to every base game. Right, I'm going to quickly bring my harvesters back to the farm, because well, we've finished harvesting now. The next step is obviously going to be lime spreading that field, ploughing it, getting it seeded then with grass, and yeah, field 6 is going to be a massive then big grass mowing field, which means then that actually field 7 over here might become a bit redundant. We might repurpose that. And like I say, if I get the sugar beet stuff set up eventually, we might be able to use it for sugar beets. But yeah, the big plan today then is to get field 6 worked. And obviously, another thing we can talk about today, folks, because it's been announced last week. I know I didn't do any farm sim videos on the channel last week. I do apologise for that, but it's nice to take a bit of a break every now and then from the game and just have a week off and play some other games and do some other things, especially this late into the game's life cycle where, you know, 3 years of playing it pretty much most days, it's does get a little bit repetitive for me now, which is why I'm so pleased at last week's massive announcement from Giants that Farming Simulator 22 will be coming out this autumn, or this winter, shall I say. Q4 2021 we'll get FS22, and obviously not a lot of details on it at the minute have been released. There's a few tasty little treats, I suppose. We've got a bit of a sunflowerage there. We might have some sunflowers to go and sell, actually. Bit of grass put in there. That'll do. Where's my harvester? There. Bring this one back. This is obviously Mr. AI harvester. We need to refuel that as well. But yeah, not a load of massive new details on the new Farming Simulator 22. The only things we know for definite from what Giants have posted is the game's going to include seasonal cycles, which means maps will go through the spring, summer, autumn, winter and change their appearance, change their textures, change their look and feel as you're playing the game. A lot of people are saying this is basically Giants including seasons in the game, but I don't think they are. I don't think Giants are including seasons in the game. Not seasons as in the seasons mod that you know now. They are including, like I say, seasonal cycles where every so many days in game there's going to be a texture swap, just to give the maps a bit of a different look, a different feel, and look like they're lived in, and look like they're part of a real world which is changing over time. But whether they actually implement season mechanics, we don't know. It's too early to say. Giants aren't really giving a lot of information at the minute on confirmed actual features and gameplay and stuff. But like I say, I'd be a little bit surprised if they were putting the seasons mod as people know the seasons mod into the game from the start, because there are so many people that play the game that don't use the seasons mod, don't like the seasons mod, and if you put the seasons mod in the game, Giants will end up losing their sales, unless it's an option to turn off, which again, there's been no mention of that. And then there's just been a couple of other things, obviously. An upgrade to Giants Engine 8. We're going to have Giants Engine 9, so it's the same engine that we're using now in this game. It's just going to be available, if you like, for they just updated it for the new game. The game's going to be running on DirectX 12 moving forward, they said, which I'm not sure if that's going to make any massive performance differences to us guys playing on PC or not, because unfortunately the game is still being marketed for and published on PlayStation 4 and Xbox, not Xbox One X or PlayStation 5, but the last gen console. So the game still needs to be able to run on, 12-year-old hardware at this point in time, which means potentially us PC guys are not going to be able to, are probably still going to get a game that doesn't run and take advantage of our systems in great detail. Those of us with really good rigs are probably still going to see it use only one core, one thread, use only a couple of gigs of RAM, only use about a quarter of your GPU, which is very disappointing. Again, that Giants haven't, taken the chance, especially with them being self-published now and being in control of their own destiny. They've got control of their own product. They're not having to pander to any publishers. They're not having to work to the stipulations of another company. They're free to do what they want for the first time in the product cycle, in their game franchise's lifetime. It would have been nice if, Giants decided, we're not going to support 12-year-old consoles, and instead we're going to just really go all out on next gen, and making sure the PC game is the absolute technical best it can be. So yeah, a little bit disappointed on that. Right, sunflower, we should go and sell the sunflowers really. Sunflower prices, let's have a look. Best price, warehouse. Okay, so these are what's left over from the harvest contract actually. So I've got quite a bit here. Bearing in mind, I have filled the sunflower factory, and I've still got 145,000 litres spare. So Field 6 was very, very good to me. Field 6 was very, very, very good. in terms of its yield. So that's why I'm like I say, I'm looking forward to turning it into a grass field and having a big, massive grass harvesting area. Like I say, I may then decide to use field 7 as my sugar beets and do sugar beets on there, and find somewhere on the map where I can place these extra buildings and stuff that we need for handling and producing sugar beets into different stuff. I'm not sure if does it affect the animals? Beet pulp, feed pellets, yeah, it adds extra feed types. So we could do feed pellets for the cows instead of TMR. Interesting. We might need to look into that then, because like I say, 1 million litres of TMR those cows take currently, their current capacity. When they start to breed and reproduce and we start to actually gain cows over time, that obviously is going to increase. So being able, I mean, like I say, sugar beets yield a lot. When you do a sugar beet harvest, you get a ton of sugar beets, probably more so than, say, TMR, because by the time you've done grass into silage, grass into hay to go in with your straw, I think maybe doing sugar beet pellets, feed pellets, might be a bit of an easier way to feed a high volume of cows. But there we go, 231,000. That's nice. That gives me a bit of money again, because I was down to 50,000 bucks having bought field 6, because field 6 was not cheap, folks. Field 6 was very, very expensive. So we need to go get the lime spreader next. Come over here, give the field its lime spreading treatment. Take it from there. But yeah, I am definitely excited about Farming Simulator 22, definitely. Regardless of what I've said a few minutes ago about different things. Obviously, a new game, I'm definitely, you know, we've played this game for 3 years now. It's time for something new. It's time for a new game, even if it's just had a polish and got a couple of new extra tractors, and it's got, you know, a couple of new maps on day one from Giants. At the end of the day, it's going to be something new. It's going to give people like me, obviously content creators, something new to cover, something new to provide videos on, which is obviously going to be interesting for us, and it's going to be new, and it's going to be, you know, great, and hopefully there are people that are going to be very interested to watch that and see that. So obviously from a professional position, it's great for me, because it means business is going to pick up, you know, more views on the content being produced, because more people are going to want to see the new game, and less people are going to want to see this old game. So it means obviously new audience, new eyes, new viewers, new subs. Fantastic. That's what we love about a new game. It puts eyes on us creators, puts eyes on us channels, and that's fantastic. Plus, like I say, it gives us a chance to basically have a fresh look, be reinvigorated, if you like, be reinvigorated and re-energized by new content. Because obviously there's only so much you can do in this game now, after 3 years. If you haven't done everything that's possible to do in game by now, what have you been doing for the past 3 years, you know? Because there's not been a massive amount of gameplay added to the game since it released. In fact, Giants, apart from precision farming, like I say, precision farming, which has changed the gameplay a bit, that's the only thing that has come from Giants. anything gameplay wise, we've had to rely on modders to implement and bring in things like global company, things like seasons, things like GPS, things like these like harvest add-ons, like straw harvest add-on, straw me, sugar beet add-on that I've got now. All those things are pretty good. That cardinal, or I width it. No, right, we're going to... is that really harvested? Yeah. Where's my harvest? There it is. Right, we're going to line spread this field, and then we're going to plough it using the lovely 9RX that we bought recently. Give him a chance to earn some, start paying for himself. And then we'll get it seeded with grass, and yeah, big area then, where we can get hopefully all of our grass needs taken care of. Right, we've got automatic application rate enabled this time. This time, automatic application rate is on. I've remembered to turn it back on, so that hopefully we get the field line spreaded correctly to the correct standards. Quick look at the map as well. So how are we doing on other fields? Field 6 is nearly ready to harvest, but I think we'll just hang fire on field 6. What is on field 6? Corn. Yeah. Having done the sunflower harvest, I'm not ready to do a harvest again for a couple of days. Because obviously on these fields it takes ages to do a harvest, and you guys don't really get to see it. I normally start the harvest right near the end of a video, and you just see me get to drive up and down a couple of rows, and then unfortunately it's game over. After that the video ends and I end up doing all the harvest off camera. That takes me several hours, because like I say, the big fields, and then I don't get to record anymore, because by the time I've completed the harvest I'm like, I need to take a break from the game now. I need to take a break and do something else. So it does make the production of videos a lot harder when you're dealing with massive fields, with massive harvests. Because by the time I've done the harvest, like I say, I want to go and do something else for a bunch of hours, which means I don't get to record the follow-up episode or the next episode straight away. There is another mod that's come out recently to do with AI workers. I need to have a look at that. Because apparently you can pay a fee for workers to do a job on a field, but they don't, you don't actually see them like driving up and down the field doing the job. It's like you pay the fee and it's instant. Like if you want a field cultivating, you pay a set amount of money, whatever it is, say $8,000, and bing, field's cultivated, job done. You can get straight on and plant it. You haven't got to wait for a normal AI worker to drive up and down and cultivate the field that way. I'm wondering if that mod's worth having a look at, seeing how it works, especially seeing if it works with like harvesting jobs. If I could pay like for someone else to do my harvesting, and oh dear Lord, I've already run out of lime. Holy bejesus. Yeah. Okay. Out of curiosity, do we have any placeables? that will enable me to get lime somewhere near this field. Loads of stuff actually. Let's go back. I think it was probably going to be one of them one of these multi-filling station. Let's have we'll have the gold one. We'll have the gold one. And we'll put it down here somewhere, shall we? And then I can refill lime from here then. Save me driving all the way back to the farm. I ought to put those things really at all the fields. Somewhere near all the fields really. Just to cut down on the logistics of having to always drive back to the farm when I need a refill. There should be some options on this somewhere. Is it over here? Show fill mark is the one I like. And the warning. I prefer the warning stripes and the fill icon thing. That's very useful for showing you where exactly the trigger is, the fill point. I would have preferred that on the Stevie silo actually, that I've got at the farm, because it would make my life a little bit easier when I'm dealing with the seeders. But yeah, here we are, folks. Hopefully trying to lime spread this field. Obviously, the AI has never bothered with it. Well, the whole time the AI's owned the field, it's not done any lime spreading, hence why I'm getting through tons of the stuff. I fully expect that my eye is really bothering me today, folks. Ow. My eye hurts. I'm really hoping that once we've obviously done the lime this year, done this lime now, we won't need to use so much going forward, because it'll be more manageable. There'll be less lime being used each harvest. So after each harvest, we'll have less lime to top up and put back on the field. We just need to obviously get the lime to its perfect state now. And then, like I say, after each harvest, we're just topping it back up. Whereas at the moment, because this field was owned by the AI, it's never had lime on it in the whole time this save and this series has been running. So it's obviously going to take quite a bit of lime on this initial spreading from me. But it's all good. We're all happy. I mean, if worse come to the worst, and I did want that corn harvest, I could set the quickly put my new header that's on the X9. I could drop that on the AI worker harvester and let the AI worker go and harvest the cornfield for me. Obviously remembering we would have corn straw as well to pick up off that field and to be able to sell, which would be a nice way of getting money back in the account, having obviously bought this field and cleared myself out. I think I had to take a loan as well. Pretty sure I had to take a loan, didn't I? Yeah, I've got 900,000 loan as well I've got to repay. I've got a $900,000 loan because this field was expensive. I mean, let's have a look. How much was this field? 1.95 million. Nearly 2 million bucks for this field. So yeah, you can quickly see now why I've had to borrow nearly $1 million to buy it. So yeah, we've got a loan to repay. That's going to be my next little mini challenge then in this series, to get that money. I mean, yeah, we've got 267,000 of it right now, but we've got to keep buying lime at the minute, and we're going to need seed, we're going to need fertiliser. We're going to run out of lime again. I mean, one thing obviously, going back to Farming Simulator 22, I expect precision farming to be built into, you know, to be in FS22 from day one. I don't expect it to be a mod in FS22. I expect it to be there. Day one, job done. Right. So this is going to take me a while to do, I think. I don't want to start the plough off because the plough will catch up with this spreader very quickly based on how much I'm having to keep going and refilling. Yeah, there we go. We're getting there slowly and steadily. Up to the top, turn round, come back down the next row. It's also a shame to also point out this week, as I'm making this video, that the map author that made this map and has made several others on the mod hub, TNT Modding, a few of you may be familiar with him if you've played this map or any of his other maps, very sadly, unfortunately, announced he was moving away from modding. He was finishing modding. He wasn't going to be modding anymore for Farming Simulator and that because of a personal situation. Unfortunately, his wife passed away, so obviously commiserations to TNT Modding and sympathies go out to him at this time, and I just want to say thank you, TNT Modding, for the mods that you have made. You will be missed by the Farming Simulator community. But you know, obviously understand the situation that you're in now, and can fully respect your choice and decision, because obviously there are sometimes more important things in this world that people have to sadly occasionally deal with. So again, thank you TNT for the work that you've done, the mods that you have made, the maps that you have made, and I hope things improve for you down the road, you know. Another modder, obviously, another modder that most people will know, certainly having watched my content because I use a lot of his mods, Mr. Stevie. Mr. Stevie has already said that he will be map making and mod making for FS22. It will, however, depend on when he gets his new PC. He says he does need to get a new PC first and will need to upgrade his equipment before he can do modding for FS22 when FS22 comes out. But that's good to know because, like I say, when FS19 came out 3 years ago, Stevie was one of the first to start banging out mods. Literally, like 2 weeks after FS19 released, he was already slinging out the mods, the edits and upgrades to all the equipment in the base game. He was banging those out at a rapid pace with colour options, different obviously configurations. He basically went through and started customising every bit of machinery that launched with the game. His maps then came obviously a little bit later on down the road, once he'd got to grips with the changes and had time to understand the changes in the map system and terrain system that Giants had implemented in FS19 with the terrain editor and everything that we have in game, and the placeable system that we have in game. So Stevie was pretty quick to then start putting out the maps. He's still planning to release a few more maps for FS19. He did do a poll recently on his Facebook page where he asked people what were some of their favourite maps from FS17 that he hasn't yet converted, and he said he'll probably be looking to bring maybe one or two of the ones that got the most votes to FS19 still. But again, a little bit of work has slowed down on those projects because of, again, real world commitments that he's had recently in his professional life, and that, which is making it a little bit tougher for him to spend as much time in his free time working on the maps. But it's good to know that modders haven't finished with FS19 yet, and I imagine after FS22 comes out there'll still be mods coming out for FS19 for a short while. There'll be still support for this game. So if you are new, you sat there and you've never played this game yet, and you haven't jumped on the FS19 bandwagon yet, it's still worth doing. Picking it up now, getting a bit of practice in, ready before the new game comes out at the end of the year. And if you want a good deal on FS19, if you don't own it already, or even if you do own it but are missing some of the DLC, check obviously the links in the description below where you can pick up the game or any of the DLCs using my own Giants partner links. So feel free to grab those. And yeah, we'll head down that road. Right, I have to seriously spend a bit of time now getting this field done. So I'm going to end the video here, folks. When you come back, lime spreading will be done, I promise you, and we'll be then looking at I'll be looking at ploughing, getting this field ploughed. Like I say, I might start the AI worker off on the corn harvest and get him to work on that for me. So I will see you in the next episode, everybody. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all again in the next episode. Cheerio.